Hello there, I have a series of 2v2 games that were uploaded to the Discord by Grenooli that we're going to go through today. In this first one, we're going to have Grenooli and Jort here. So Jort with the Confederacy in the blue, Grenooli in the teal with the Gungans, so the blue team. And they're going to be facing off against the Sith boys here. So we've got Kick and Risk. So Kick in the yellow playing the Rebels, and Risk here in the purple Galactic Empire. So some vanilla-y civs for sure. I've got the Confederacy split off and the Gungans. So this map tends to have all the trees sort of located in the corners. So depending on your spawn, you might have to migrate a little bit where you're going to put your carbon. You're only going to find a little bit of carbon around the command center, and then ideally you kind of want to boom towards these corners. But it is 2v2, so it might be kind of quicker games, more volatile, because it sometimes just feels like two 1v1s. So there's a lot of room for rushing, early aggression, and things to just end so much quicker with all that. And this map's pretty open as well. Not really that easy to like wall things out, other than maybe like walling yourself up against the edge or something. But then what are you walling? Because the trees are kind of all away in the corners. And looking at the food, quite a lot of nerf. The Jew back here that Kicks luring here with a scout. There's a second one. Oh. Disaster. Thankfully the scout will catch it quickly. Don't think there's any more food than that. We've got food stockpiles. It's a nice little bit of a buffer, but it looks pretty mountaious really. Like most of the maps in the current climate. That's why mounties are a problem. Yeah, you can see all the resources quite near the command center except the carbon. It's just big blocks in the corners. I don't really think there's much else to this map. There's a bunch of wampas kicking about. I think I'm going to speed it up a bit, get through T1. It's going to go through a couple of games, maybe 3 games here. And it's going to get a bit boring on one-time speed, and you see some players might go straight to the carbony bit. It's not a bad chunk to start with. Kind of wallable actually, this little carbon bit, a couple of prefabs. But you can really prevent people putting a turret behind it or getting troopers behind it or something like that. Not really. Wouldn't be able to afford the investment there. Unless maybe you did some like light walling. I guess there are actually some really good spots if you made the entire trip in to actually wall yourself in. But it is going to be down to RNG. It's like the wampas are waiting for the workers to arrive, the greedy workers early. And troop center down for Jort. Going up a little bit later here for Risk. Rusty boy. Grenooli almost got his. Kick's already got his. I think everyone's probably just going to open Mounties. Just because it comes that much quicker, the map's best suited for it really in terms of the food. You've already got the nursery, which is the prerequisite building for them. And we can see them popping across. So maybe go down to 1.25. We'll try and keep an eye on everything that's happening. People bring the scout with it as well to scout ahead, to distract the workers. And sometimes you can even bug the workers out if they're trying to retreat. Because every time you attack them, they kind of turn round and try to slap the scout. Like in that your Mountie flame it down with its attack. And getting in here, but the defender's advantage for Grenooli, so even though he's a little bit later and gets that Mountie out at just the same time, but Kick did run on top of the hill like a little nerd there. And you can see the difference in the damage. Pretty tremendous. So that's really going to help Kick like win this 2v1, despite the defender's advantage. And Risk actually, he's just gone for more traditional, getting his troopers out, and he's actually got them up in time to deal with this. Maybe done a pretty good T2 there actually. Way ahead of everyone here. But it's whether can he get a counter attack on? Because he's only just barely gotten a couple of troopers out. Very tight build. You can see Kick running away now. I think that maybe is that third Mountie popped out, and then there's a fourth and fifth on the way. Kick's actually trying to just get out of Mounties here. He's got a couple of troopers building on the way at T2. Jort on the other hand needs to get himself off to T2. He's actually missed this dewback. Risk seems to be very aware of that because he's watching it here. Bit of risk. Not quite gotten his counter-attack on. As I said, he's a bit of a rusty boy. There he goes. Troops are on the way. Grenooli coming in here, trying to find some damage. The troopers are just going to take shots at them though. Grenooli's going to kill this Mountie. Oh, why did he stop? He had it. He had it. I guess he wasn't even trying to. Looks like he's trying to go off to risk now. Or just sit over here maybe. Risk is looking to counterattack. See, Jort has got 4 troopers stashed away in the troop centre as he tries to get his second one here. And the trooper's going to have a pretty good time if they can get round somewhere. Looks like Jort's done a pretty good job of like walling himself in here on his carbon. It's quite like tucked away. Makes him a lot more safer from the counterattacks. He could maybe just focus on getting a turret around here near the command centre. Guarantee his food stockpiles. But this will affect his farms and his food, which could stop him getting to T3 when he wants to. Grenooli in here trying to find some damage, but he's not really going to find it there with the Mounties. But these troopers are going to collide now with these guys coming out of the troop centre. And Risk's been on 2 TC for a lot longer, but he's probably had to like fix his food and everything like that. He's rallied some troopers, but then he's rallied some at home as well. He's not quite just keeping the aggression flowing as he would like. Maybe wary about some Mounties coming in. He's doing a good bit of micro here though. He's trading like really cost effectively here. He's basically spawn camping the troopers and that's getting him a lot more damage. And as I said, he's affecting the food, but he needs to get his own farms down and get his own food rocking ahead. And that way he can maybe turn this into a T3 lead, because he's not going to get an outright kill with the carbon stashed away like this. Kicks on the counter-attack here. Looks like he found an angle here on the right-hand side and got onto the food stockpile. And then these guys actually should just be taking the trade there. That could have been 3 troopers for free right there. But he's going for prioritising the workers, trying to kill the farming workers, the food stockpile workers. Whatever he can, and that'll help him pull ahead. And if he decides to build, why is he not building any farms? He's rebels. There's too many on the food stock, but he needs to sort himself out. He could be roaring ahead here if he'd gotten his farms down like the other players. So, pretty catastrophic error for Kick. It's like he's almost doing the damage directly to himself. That's self-flagellation here, rather than getting that T3 lead. And Risk, unfortunately, walking into the troopers there. So Jort getting a bit of a lucky break now, and he can maybe turn this into a little bit of a counter-attack, put some pressure back this way. Okay, still getting the pressure. No turrets here, no like wall in. These troopers getting on top. There will be troopers that pop out to assume to come and fight them, but they're going to probably kill like 2 or 3 more workers. That's 3. There you go, 3 dead. Any more? But there's more troopers. Oh dear. It could be death there. Okay, just with the unrelenting pressure, and this is only 1 turret, you could stand on top of it. If you don't know, turrets have like a minimum range rule, but Kick is taking the worst path possible there. Actually, probably should have just ran them down. He's still not on the turret properly, oh dear. And yeah, Kick has 500 carbon, and we know why. Because he has no farms. So 500 carbon to 100 food, not looking great there. And Jort has managed to sneak around into the carbon here for Risk. Risk being a little bit greedy, not going for his double turrets there on such an open map. Questions have to be asked as to why he's not done that. I guess he thought he had all the pressure and Jort was just never going to counterattack him here, but Jort was clever enough to go for that. On that little lucky break that he got. He's going to get a couple of workers here, but most importantly these guys are just not mining on the carbon, right? So it's going to let him soar ahead. He's built a gate now. He's having a much easier time keeping this area safe, and now he can add more workers to that area. Grenooli, on the other hand, going to be counter-attacking here, and I think, to be honest, if Kick had like prioritised his farms, he could probably be on the way to T3 right now. So he'd be soaking up this pressure, but then he'd be able to pop out a strike mech to deal with these guys. However, he is not, but Grenooli not quite sure where to go with his units here. You can see that all these guys are on Nova. That's quite a lot on Nova. He could probably fit in a temple right now, maybe grab some hollows. Since he's kind of trapped. You can maybe try and like spaceport his way up, but I don't think it's going to feel that good. I think he's just going to lose too much res. You have to make too many trades there. Jort trying to extend his influence here a bit. He's got his buildings down. He's on the way to T3. He's cut some corners here, but you can see it shows in the trooper count, so it's on risk to really get some damage in here. Because risk might not be as quick to T3. He's got the money, but has he got the buildings? Not quite yet. He's up to 1,000 food, so needs to be paying attention to that. Because if he doesn't, he's almost pulling back here when he shouldn't. He needs to run all these guys down. Since he's hit T3, he needs to put the pressure on. But he needs to sort things out at home, which should be a trigger for him to get the buildings down and attack. I'm really still trying to find these angles into Kick's carbon here. Kick really needs to change his carbon. He's walking like a massive trip here to that carbon processor. Got one over here now. Maybe needs to get a second one around here. Strike mechs are out for Jort, so he's going to be able to put that pressure back onto Risk. He's got his 2 buildings down and really needs to do something to turtle up here a little bit. He's got 1 turret, he probably needs to get another turret. To be honest, I feel like he needs to get on the ore, he needs to get a couple of grenadiers out or something like that, or some sort of deterrent. Do some more walling, anything to stall out the strike mech aggression. Grenooli going to go for the only thing that he can go for right now, because he doesn't feel he can get in here with these troopers standing guard with a turret on the hill, is go for the farms. So Brisk's on the way. Kick's still not, I don't know what Kick's up to here. But Grenooli on the other hand, I don't know what he's up to either. He's up to 900 carbon too. It's just an absolute mess in terms of the macro. Gonna keep these guys in T2 forever. There's nothing wrong with being in T2 forever, however. Not really the most optimal way to be playing. At the very least, I'd like to see some triple troop centers or something like that. Or make use of all this if you want to stay T2. Big trooper trade there. Kick actually coming out worse. I guess the difference is a little bit of damage here for these guys. Maybe there was a few more on that side. But it could just be patrol RNG, as always. Being 1 turret, this is pretty devastating for Risk. He doesn't really have anything to defend himself for this at the moment. No anti-air troopers on site. And this split of fighters and strike mech is going to get a lot of damage. Because he's pumping them out now, he's going to have to run the workers. Quite a few losses suffered there. Grenooli, it's got him knocked off of Nova here on Kick's side. Got some more troopers keeping the pressure on, and he's just like seeding 1,000,000 farms at the moment because well, he had 900 carbon, got to spend it. And Grand's always not really that good, but they can be if they land their shots. But the mech destroyer's out, and that should be enough to keep Risk just sort of alive here, barely. There's quite a lot of pressure from Jort. He's really pumping out the units right now. A lot of strike mechs, a lot of fighters. And sort of diverse T3 options, just trying to create the windows for damage. And Risk's gonna send his workers back and try and get everything back online now. But Jort, you know, he could go for something different. He's gonna maybe go for a fortress here, maybe mix in Magna Guards. He's gonna maybe assume that Risk is gonna go heavy on these mech destroyers to defend himself, or be too reliant on them. Alternatively, he could make his own mech destroyers and go for a push that way. He could get forward somewhere closer and get the artillery rolled out, because Risk is just going to be a lot worse off economically than he is. And Kick's made it to T3. Grenooli is lagging behind a little bit, but at least he has Kick pinned in right now. Kick has to chase these units down before he can even go for some sort of counter attack. And I think he's maybe going to make an airbase here. He's got 2 mech factories ready to pump out the strikes. See, it's all very sort of following the 1v1 sort of formula and the 2v2 here. Longer trooper into double mech factory, 1 airbase usually. Well, Jort though has gone pretty hard on the airbases. He's gone with the 1 mech factory and the double airbases. Guess maybe taking advantage of just how far away the carbon is. That air mobility can get over the walls and stuff. Still, quite a lot of strikes built up just off of the 1 mech factory. He's got 2 MDs as well, so I don't think that mech factory's ever been idle here for Jort. And Kick sending the strikes over, trying to find the angles now. Quite a clever little turret here. You can maybe use one over here as well. I think I maybe prefer this one over here, just to cover more of the farming area. That's a lot of this is kind of walled anyway. At least they're not like in the eco over here. A couple of mech stars popping out, and Jort's got quite a lot of units just going to be surging forward here. You can see the garrison fortress, quite ominous from the Confederacy. We know what's in there. It's those Magna Guards. And strikes are sitting out the front here, but the mech stars do pop out to push these away. A couple are trying to find some more angles, and it looks like Grenooli missed the dewback as well. Grenooli, what's wrong with this team? Both missing their dewbacks, man. Shocking. 340 food, man. And everyone's sort of getting like grouping together now for Jort, and that's going to be the pressure coming Risk's way. And Risk is not going to feel ready for this. This could be the end for him, especially with this mech. He doesn't want to get this caught in the middle here. Just getting caught out of position, that's just that's going to be doom for him. He definitely needed that. I mean, this kind of push that you probably would want to have a fortress or something, maybe around here. And wall out the rest of it. As he's trying to get his third command center right now to catch up, but this is going to feel pretty bad. He doesn't really have a lot on site for this. The Magna Guards are going to be so tough here right now. You'd ideally probably want to have a lot of troopers and or some strike mechs, but you know, there's quite a good Swiss Army knife army here from Jort. And then the air pressure as well is probably going to feel too much. If he wanted to get even more brutal, he could have added in like 1 or 2 bombers too. Surprised not to see some workers maybe just coming along to get something like a heavy weapons factory for like maybe some pummels here. Would be quite good just to finish things off. Or just to get the fortress onto the resources and guarantee them. And you could set his sights on bringing kick down as well. There's the air speeder here, but that's not really going to help, and these fighters are going to catch it immediately here. Catch both of them, and yeah, that's going to be Kick's attempt to try and help here kind of over. Risk's pretty much doomed. Really on Kick on the other hand, looking kind of sleepy. A bit of a nap. Been fighting too long. Fatigue setting. Still these troopers just sitting here waiting for the moment. This was their moment though, with these guys going for this command center and they've missed it. A few more units from Jort. He's maybe just going to be booming now. Make sure his team doesn't lose. Kick and Grenooli still looking pretty even though, but this is a big push from Grenooli. A lot of units coming the way of Kick, and Kick being rebels, you want to kind of just boom up a little bit, play defensive, and maybe go for that T4 air. But there's going to be a lot of units kicking down his door, but there isn't too much anti-air. But then again, Kick doesn't seem to have a lot of air on site at the moment because he's desperately trying to keep Risk alive. Just got out a few more units, but he's finding that these guys are just not going to take the damage that he would want. He would need like both damage upgrades, I think. Probably be better with like a lot of troopers maybe to get that plus damage and rate of fire. Pretty cheap. Really walking in here, he's got his anti-air though. We can push this air off of him. And he just needs to get in a good spot that kind of shuts down Kick's economy. Those troopers did find some damage. They've caught these guys on this Nova or something. And there's a forward now for Jort, and Risk's not going to be able to defend this, he just doesn't have the economy. Double heavy weapons factory. A lot of workers on Nova here. Jort's playing pretty damn well here. Solid through and through, keeping up the pressure, never relenting. And Grenooli still got this spot here, and Kick's struggling. The air just can't quite engage with all those anti-air troopers. They're feeling a lot stronger in the current patch too, which makes this kind of play a lot more punishing for the air. So I'm trying to focus down these anti-air, because if you can pretty much wipe the whole army, right? He just needs to shoot it with the air. I don't know what he's doing. There's only 2 left. What are you doing? Just kill the anti-air. Why are you stutter stepping? Let's clean that up. That's quite an expensive army for Grenooli to replace. He doesn't look keen on doing any of that. It looks like he's just thinking about maybe just setting up air defense and booming now. But then Jort over here with some strikes too. Doesn't really feel that he needs them over here anymore. He's just got the artillery slowly ramping up. Risk did get a shield up. He's doing his best with what he can. But he's just going to be so brutally behind here. The team are almost waiting for a miracle. The miracle being Kick goes up to T4 or something and saves the day. But looking at Kick's resource distribution, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. What is he up to? He's got 2.5k ore. Why didn't he make some more fortresses then? He could just go pure speeder. He's got 1300 carbon. He needs farms. He needs some farms here. He just needs to make farms everywhere. Just to get these guys active on the farms again. Looks like he's been doing some spaceport wizardry there. He's off to T4. He wants us to pretend we never saw his economy. I mean, all the Grenooli Jort team need to make sure that they do is just not die to any sort of air. They're probably golden, quite keen to just 2v1 this one out. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. And these Magna Guards are something you're just going to have to be really wary about because they're such a strong unit to mix into these kind of early pushes, just because of how tanky they are. So when you're facing them, you need to think about making sure that you prioritise getting those attack damage upgrades for the war centre. If you've got troop centres, you should think about flexing in troopers just for a little bit more damage to kind of kite them out and kill them quicker. Now he could probably try and get some mounties, but Jort's thinking about that himself. I think he's mixing in some troopers and some strike mechs now. And it becomes pretty hard to deal with artillery in T3 with just like mech line. Once there's quite a few out, they trade too well into like mech destroyers. It's like late game because of the way all the war center upgrades and stuff and the health pools for the mech destroyers go up. You can sort of, like in smaller skirmishes, you can like split up and fan out and rely on that like +7 damage to their, you know, like their base attack to kill off artillery. But if they're in shields, absolutely not. It's just too much health pool for the DPS output of artillery. So ideally you do need to think of either artillery back or some counters, some ACs, some assault mechs, mounties. Things with a lot more DPS to take advantage of that slow rate of fire of the artillery. So Kick is T4. Grenooli's got quite a good boom on the go though. I mean, if the air does come his way, he's got some good garrison space, he's got some turrets sitting in almost a triangle, going for some sort of kick base himself here. And Kick going to be going with the air. You know, if Kick had a lot of air, he could actually wipe this. Like, a sizable amount of advanced fighters with some speeders kills this, because the fighters do just an obscene amount of damage to heavy weapons. Which was one of the biggest problems of vanilla. Their counter, the A-mobile, just took so much damage from them. It made no sense. Cannons are on the way as well. I mean, the speeders could get some damage in here as well. Does have the shield as a buffer. I don't know, I almost feel like Kick should have just got all his air together and tried to bail risk out. some damage on Grenooli. I think Risk's gonna die. Could have maybe got a couple of masters out, maybe. Oh, he's going for the attacker. He's gonna maybe build them up and go for it. But the problem is this is giving Jort the time to pull the trigger on getting anti-air set up. So you can see he's got some anti-air troopers building. He's building some A-mobiles. This is the biggest threat to him now, and he knows it. That's why I think Kick should have just went in one big fell swoop and wiped that army down by risk some time. Masters, on the other hand, are a possible thing that could be done here. I mean, there's nothing to really worry about as rebels here. The only player that could like convert your masters is on your team. So if you took away the cannons, that would slow things down quite a bit. And Risk unfortunately needs to do some sort of like hard booming, but he's not really got much space to do it. Maybe it'd be better to just like be into Mounties or something and then kick just a big air force. But Grenooli is not going to give him the opportunity to save Risk anymore because he's pushing out here. He's got a lot of A-mobiles on the way. He is T4 now, so they can maybe get upgraded. He's going for this fortress here. A lot of Kick's airs sort of out of the bout right now. But like Father Ted. He does get onto the workers though, he's going to snap the fortress, I think. And the attacker, to be honest, you know what? The attackers are so strong these days, god damn. It's even worse. Forget what I said about fighters. I didn't realise it was that bad. But no, attackers are pretty damn strong. Need a lot of anti-air for them. Like turrets and stuff as well. Pretty expensive and slow though. Kick's hitting him with the out, get out of my base, or get out of the game, leave me alone. Need to save Risk. I really have to go straight back to his base and probably think about getting much more anti-air. To be fair, it's all the units Kick has. His entire army is air-based, so that was maybe not enough anti-air to deal with that. Risk is trying his hardest here. He's doing pretty well considering the circumstances and how poor he is. He's pretty good at like finding that balance though between building units and making economy, and that's why he tends to catch a lot of people off guard in the wing. Because they do it in a fragmented way where there's windows where they can be abused. But again, these units are just going to suck without a shield generator against these guys in a shield generator. It just makes things so much worse. Kick still trying to find some damage here, be annoying, keep the unit count of Grenooli down, but all he's really doing is keep himself alive. But there he's going to go for Jort now. But Jort, you see, he's had that time, he's been thinking about it for a while, he's got advanced anti-air turrets now. And honestly, I don't know, if you never wipe this army down, it's just probably curtains for Risk. The masters are something that could make it. He's going for the bombers now. He's an absolute air psycho here. He's gone hard on the rebel air. They are the best civ for it, in the sense that you do get that HP regen. So shields mechanics already regenerate, but they have an upgrade where their aircraft HP will repair. So it's like they can repair all their health and you can get a ton more value out of your air. It might not show in just one skirmish, but it's probably the second and the third skirmish that you have with the same air. There'll be a lot less of them on low health as soon as they start fighting. Grenooli's got his advanced turrets up as well, but he's struggling to get an army out just now. But again, as long as Jort and Grenooli just play pretty safe, they should be good here, because the rest just can't really deal with this army. He's outgunned, he's out-tacked here. The T4 versus T3, and he's getting closer and closer to the economy. And Kick has formulated his plan. Where's the rest of his air though? I'd like to see some like fighters and stuff with this. You need that kind of diverse damage if you want to go for like pure air here, because bombers are going to feel pretty damn clunky against this. Especially with the anti-air troopers. The anti-air troopers are going to do like pretty damn well against the bombers, I think. Because there's not really a way to kill them here without like a lot of fighters. And see, Kick's struggling here. He gets the turret, but look how many he's lost. He's pretty much lost almost the entire control group already. It's because of the anti-air troopers, mostly. If anything, that would have just been better as attackers. Bombers just ain't it. Attackers, fighters, and speeders would have just smashed this army, I think. And done so much better than the Magna Guards and everything else that's left over. Bombers just kinda suck. You should get on these though, these are overextended a little bit. The anti-air's all the way over here. But they're gonna call GG there. Because they're just not removing Jort from here. He's like a cancer that's just gotten too out of control here in risk space. And we're gonna go to the next one. And here we have, I'm assuming it's Grenooli and not Cal playing there. I don't know if he's quit or what. I will spec you. Okay. Yeah, so Cal's watching. So, really here in the blue, playing the is that Confederacy? My height, no, it's Black Sun. And we've got Kick here in the teal, the First Order, and then we've got Risk and Jort on the other side, so Jort in the yellow Naboo, and Risk in the purple Rebel Alliance, and pretty close spawns on this one. They're sort of like in a big sort of crater here. You can see the elevation that goes around the outside, and then a lot of the trees are situated in the outer rim, rather than in the corners, but you do get much better tree lines here, for sure. This little elevated area sort of separating the player spawns serve as an elevation bonus. And there's a couple of ponds as well that can be useful. Kind of depends. Shorefish kind of spaced out in a way though that you're maybe only ever going to get 2 out of the 3. That's kind of nice though when you've got them all together. It's almost the African clearing right there. From Age of Empires. How many nerfs is there? God damn. Double nursery, 13 nerf, not quite 16, but take it, that's almost full worker production. Going to be a lot of troopers, and we've got Kick who's First Order, so we know what that means, flame troopers. So as always, Mountie map. Always Mountie map. 4 flumps, oh I don't know. Oh, there's room for super fast T2s here, for sure, absolutely. So maybe somebody can pull something off like that and maybe punishing the Mountie player. And again, it shouldn't take the Mountie guys too long to get up to T2 as well though. 5 foul? Is there a 5th one? Oh, I'd be going for the T2 here. We're seeing a lot on carbon for most players, and Kick, on the other hand, is actually not going for his carbon processor, so he's gone for the troop center quickly to make the flame trooper unpowered and just get it into the economy that much quicker. And that's going to cause some disaster for Jort here. Let's get himself house though. You can see those 3 workers trying to get that house up as soon as possible. Unfortunately for him, it has not stopped the flame trooper production in any way, so he's good. He will survive, and the amount of damage he's about to get out of this is probably going to make everything worth it anyway. Troop center going down for Risk and for Grenooli here, and I wonder if they're both playing. Nope, we got workers on to the Nova here. Like, question though, how quickly will Risk get himself up to T2? He's already at 300 food. It's just maybe a second is full up, he's almost finished. There's 2 more to grab there, but not about 5. Only really seen 4, but there's the flame trooper has arrived, but don't tell Kick yet because he doesn't seem to know himself. I even think that was him microing for a second there. Now he is, maybe, trying to stop that power core going up a little bit quicker. Because he should have a second one on the way now as well, and the power core going down now that the carbon processor's there. And he can start pumping them out as he wants, but Jort being pretty quick to get a wall off here. Well, it's not quite a wall off, but it is in terms of the front. And we've got Risk, who is going up to T2, but what Risk's doing is the old traditional classic where we go up to T2 but we make 2 Mounties on the way, because this map is sort of reminiscent of a vanilla map, having so many nerfs and so many hunt. It's like a kind of desert where you roll all those Rontos and nerfs. Jort's managed to get some trooper boots out here to deal with these flame troopers. Oh dear. Not quite paying attention a little bit there, but it doesn't matter. And Risk is T2 now, and can he find that damage? Grenooli is just stuck in T1 now. Disaster here. But Risk needs to pop out some troopers. He's only really got the one production here. He's kind of bottling it a little bit. He's got his trooper upgrade, but he's not no troopers to show for it. He's having to repair his power core here. He better not lose it. His Mounties are coming back. There's a trooper. Get the added damage there. And this is kind of bad for Grenooli now if he loses all these, because he's going to have no way to really keep Risk in his base, right? And struggle to deal with the counter-attack here. And talking about counter-attacks, we've got Jort doing the same. He's got himself up to T2 as well. And then how's Kick getting on here? He's on the way to T2. Grenooli, on the other hand, still trapped in T1, and he's built up to what, like 600 carbon here? That's a bit of a problem. Risk chasing these guys down a little bit. He's not maybe too worried about his Mounties too much here. He's just trying to keep an eye on the units and make sure that he can get his units across. He really needs to prioritise Risk. You need to get your arse in gear and start pushing these troopers across. Got a lot of Nova here. I'm not sure what his intention was with that, if he wanted to keep making Mounties or something in T2, but these guys are so low. The damage is there, and he's going to find the angle here, getting into the carbon. Grenooli, as we can see, is still T1. He's just hitting T2 now, hitting that button. Kick on the other hand instead of wall himself right into his carbon here. He has pushed Jort away a little bit. Jort's sitting on the hill right now, maybe just sorting things out at home. He's got a lot to sort out. Everything goes to chaos when those units get into your base. You send it. You have to take these little like 2-second breathers just to like build up your farms and stuff, or get like a new carbon down. He's got some turrets, just maybe make sure he doesn't get counter-attacked. And Risk still trying to get things in order here. Absolutely rusty. I would have liked Risk to bring a couple of workers there and just push a little bit harder with the troopers, because he could have just pretty much guaranteed he gets a turret down on the carbon and he controls the base more. It extends how much pressure he can have. I'd love to get in with like 3 or 4 troopers here and just like kill these guys at range. And 3 range versus 4 range, you've got like 4 to 5 troopers, you can pretty much just one-tap them all. Put them on box formation, and that makes sure that they're more likely to just fire on the same one very quickly in one click. Just because of where they're standing. We've got Grenooli going for a counter-attack here, and Risk is, you know, he's playing some sort of 1TC shenanigans here, which is maybe not the best. He's going to find that he gets caught off guard here. He doesn't want these running in, and he doesn't have turrets again. He must have hit 3 different targets there. Let's at least guarantee that he killed 3 of them. This is a lot more manageable to deal with than what was a way to run into his carbon line. He tries to find the damage, and Grenooli gets a couple of workers here as well, but then he's got these 4 troopers to deal with, and Jort, absolutely. It's a short map, you know, he was in the area and he's like, you know what? I'm going to sort this out for you. And sort it out he did. Kick, feeling emboldened by that though, trying to sneak across here. And the way these clusters work, there's like loads of like backdoor angles into the base. Nobody feels that they can properly like roll everything out. Cal's still watching here, he's not actually resigned, he's pigging things. This Kick gets in here and finds some damage to Jort, gets 1 worker, that one just escaped. These guys are maybe not going to be so lucky, maybe try and put down some prefab shelters on the way, because there's a few guys that they need to protect over here. That or try and lead the troopers astray, but Kick's not falling for it. He's trying to get in here, but Jort quick to get this wall bit here so they can't sneak around. They've got to go through the turrets if they want to find damage, and now they're right up against the carbon and they're going to have to be forced to take the trade here and probably just die. Unfortunate. Things looking quiet on the other side though after that counter-attack from Grenooli. Risk on the other hand though, is he finding that T3? He can pretty much afford it. Come on. Click it. Click it. Click the button. There we go. There we go. Good boy. That's what we need. Off to T3. Grenooli, on the other hand, trying to find that counter-attack. Could probably stand behind the carbon though. I think Risk's maybe wary of that. You can see he's trying to get the prefab shelters down. So if you don't know, if you put these down, then you're limiting the surface area where the units can stand, and that way you can keep this carbon going a lot longer. And prematurely sort of wall it as well, so if it ran out, there's no holes left there. Jort coming in here, looking for a trade. A lot more troopers than Kick right now, and Kick is just getting absolutely ran down there. Somebody died even on the retreat there. And he's killed 2 for like 2 for 9 or something. And he's found that angle, he's getting into the carbon, he's going to try and maybe die for the carbon or go for the Nova. But only a few troopers on hand right now as Risk tries to get to T3. Does manage to get Nova workers away though, so not really anything going to be lost there. He does have a mech factory built already. He should be able to get those units out to defend himself. Yeah. Nervous about this little bit here though, he's not actually finished walling it out. And Jort trying to keep himself here longer, he's going to build some turrets to reinforce his position. There is a Nova in the back here for Kick, so he's not locked him out of Nova, but he's pretty much just granting some permeance to this position. And Risk is T3 now, so Strike Mech's going to come out and should be able to start killing off these troopers here. Try and get off of the Cal must ping everything moment. Grenooli almost threatening to go for Jort there while he's busy fighting Kick, but we've got the fighter out here, we've got the Strike Mech out here, and I wonder where Grenooli's at and trying to get to T3. He's just started now, so there is a little bit of a window here for Risk to get the counter attack on, and you know, it's pretty open out here at the top. As Grenooli's kind of finished mining on this bit. Jort, loads of troopers here. Is he still on 2 TC? He is. He's just gotten his war center now. Probably lacking on getting his upgrades then, if he's not gone for 3 TC here. But still, a lot of troopers built off those 2. 2 turrets going for a 3rd turret here, just trying to keep that pressure going. The Kick's done pretty good to move everything to the back here. He's well insulated from this. And I'm going to take a trade here, and this is going to favour Jort, I'm pretty sure. We're trying to delete that building to get a better arc here, and that does actually help. And it's maybe just managed to push Jort back there. Because as it stood, he was kind of caught between the 2 buildings there, and it was messing him up. Is he on 4 troop centres? God damn, they're going for it. But I think Jort is going to be going to T3 soon. Almost there, actually. That's going to be devastating when he gets in there and he starts upgrading these guys. Or even upgrade his turrets if he wanted. A pretty cheap upgrade, the medium turret upgrade. And Risk getting a lot of worker kills here with these strike mechs. As Grenooli had to just pretty much grin and bear and take it there. As he's got his mech destroyer and his grenadier out now. But Risk is keeping the pressure on. Fighters and strike mechs rallying where they can. And as we said, that is T3 for Jort. So not really going for his trooper upgrades, he's just going to put them in his turrets. I think he lost quite a few of them there, so maybe it's not worth it for him anymore. It's always sad to see when someone won't go heavy trooper. It's going to be strike mechs and fighters like a basic bitch here. There they go. I bet we won't even see a medium turret either. That's just also disappointing. Probably at least see another upgrade for the turrets. We will, thank you. But he probably just wanted it for his mechs, didn't he? The turrets are it's just consequential. Grenooli and Kick discussing of how boned they are here in this game, and I think they've come to an agreement that it's not gone well. And GG going to be called there from both players. GG, and they're going to resign here. And we're going to go into the last and final one here. And looks like, is this desert? No, it's Jakku. It's a bad movie desert. That's what it is. Got 3 nerfs here. I'm going to eat 1 here for his food production. Grenooli are going to be in the teal, playing the Trade Federation. I got it right, thank you. The markers have changed, they're different looking. Red, first order here for Jort, and they're going to be taking on Kick and Risk again here. So Kick in the Grey Imperial Remnant and Risk in the purple Galactic Empire. And there's some massives here that can be lured. Nope, they can't be lured. You're going to lure them in your scout. He's just come to that conclusion, Risk here. It's like, damn. Because it almost looked like it was coming after him, but it was not. So I'm going to have to try and like push them with a scout. We'll be used to that. He's as rusty as he is. Let's see if he goes for it. Yeah, he does. Going for it now, but unfortunately he's dropped his food processor, so might be a little bit behind some of the other players. Some of them can actually do this, get the nerfs right, and the nerfs, and then they can maybe open bounties as well. And being first order, that's probably what Jort's going to want to do here. Grenooli, on the other hand, for risk's sake, eating his nerfs, so they're going to be nerfs right, not going to be mounties. But they're pretty, you know, OP mountie civs here, these two. Particularly in the style of not building the carbon processor first as well. So there could have been some cheesy shenanigans in that regard, I think, with some massive pushing and nurseries and quick TCs. Risk does manage to get them lured out there. Is there more than two? I don't think so. A lot of Minox, but this is a really nice flock of Minox, isn't that? No lure. I might have to speed myself up out of T1 here. Could be days. God, this is some unethical card in here though. Look at this. With Nova too. If only he didn't build a carbon there, he could have Nova here. Could have went like carbon. Look, there's a Nova over here as well. What is this? Just wall this out. This is like the perfect cheese T3 map here. God damn. Question is whether you can get all those Minox eaten in time safely without bounties harassing you. And quick TC for Grenooli. He's probably going to want to pump out. Well, no, he can't. He doesn't have his nursery, so I guess he's just doing it for the building rule. Is there enough food? Maybe. I don't know. His food's a little bit awkward right now. Maybe this was like a 3-farm kind of game. Just for a little bit of extra. Yeah, there is a lot of Minox to eat. Yeah, maybe you just need to dump more on the Minox. And honestly, probably just another food processor. Or build this one a bit more Minox leaning. Where's everyone at in terms of T2ing? Jort is absolutely on it, isn't he? Yeah, Flame Troopers. I can see that from a mile away. Get his farms down now. These guys are really rapidly pumping out though, but he's not. He's got his carbon set up and everything first, so it's just going to be like a strong Flame Trooper spam here. Everything's in place for them to just keep being built. That's going to feel bad for Kick here. As he's got some very harassable points of interest here in his base, like with the food processor up here. His carbon is, you know, it's not like it's right next to CC or anything either. Does have his TC, he does have his power core, he should be able to get some trooper recruits out. But, you know, Jort's going to find some angles, get a lot of damage here. These guys are so tanky. Oh damn. Delete them from the game. Grenooli really nailing things here. Risk on his way to T2, I would assume. He does have a lot of troops at hand though. So you can really try to get all these guys out and pretty much upgrade as they're going across. Let's pretty much just skip the Minox. That is interesting. He went pretty heavy on his food stockpile. Quite a lot of food here though. 1,000 food. Hard for him to go for it now. I wonder if he was going to go over and get that, but yeah, he's going to need to wrestle Grenooli out of his base first if he wants to do that. And Grenooli's actually sneaking over here to go and build a turret, I think. There's somebody got a worker out there for line of sight then. He's building those, and he knows it's there, he just moved it. You can see them there. Risk could actually just start bashing it right now with the worker. Get that damage in. What he should do is actually just move over here, delete his prefab, and get on the workers. He's going around here. Oh, oh dear. Oh, that feels bad, man. It's just gone in a little bit of a mess there. He does kill off the workers, but those troopers, like, he just walked into those troopers there. And on the other side of things, I need to turn this down, don't I? Everything's happening too quickly. Got the troopers making their way over here, looking for some damage. Flame troopers running around, trying to find more damage here, but yeah. Risk's not dead though. I mean, as it stands, I think really is Grenooli's just pretty much donated 3 workers. Although Risk is trying his best to even out a little bit there without working. But he does clean up these troopers, but there's more troopers coming his way. And Risk's troopers just always tend to be a little bit disconnected from one another. And again here, they can have a little bit of an arc that they engage, but I don't think it's in time. You can probably just kill one side too quickly here. Another worker coming to try and finish off this turret because it is pretty close to being finished. It would mean that Risk would have to move his carbon. I don't think it's the worst thing. I don't know if Grenooli's really set up to actually be... What you would want to do is be waiting at the other location with your troopers. And he's just going to move it. He sees he's getting to do it ahead of time as well because he's clever and he sees it's happening, so away he goes. And he has managed to get 2 troopers here to maybe just sneak in and get a little bit of damage. A little bit of scouting. Grenooli has to think of something else to do here. Risk's moved over. Ideally he wants to be in that position, but Risk should really think about getting like double turrets. There's just such a risk of things going bad from here. Good trade there on the left hand side though. Grenooli just brought them all together, he'd win that easily. Oh, but he's getting a lot of free shots off there and he's stopping that turret going up as well, and he's going to put another turret here on the troop centres. And these flame troopers are still just terrorising Kick somehow, even though he's got troopers on hand. Kick is on a polyphasic sleep cycle and was just fitting in one of his naps there, I think. He's still not dealt with these. This can feel pretty bad with this turret here, but he gets his own turret as well, so it's the battle of the turrets. They're both pretty all out here in T2. I'll damage those troopers. All Risk really need to do though is just wipe these troopers out of the way and then just get some workers over here and bash this down. And it's all good. And then he can even run out and bash this down if he wants his Nova back as well. Which he probably would, because it's safer there. Are these guys going to come back in again for like... How many encores have they done? I think that encores endlessly here. Always coming back, getting some damage in. Just run back out. Don't worry about it, we were never here. Kick absolutely. He's got such a safe area to farm in here though. That'd be so comfy. But Jort has made it to T3 for all this because he's not really been suffering any losses. He's walled at home. Maybe cut a little bit of corners here. Doesn't have too many farms. Maybe there've been some spaceport. It's gonna feel pretty bad for Kick though, because yeah, once again up to 900 carbon. Not looking good. Needs those farms. Try and place them down now, but then there's going to be strike mechs coming his way. If he actually just full walled this, he might actually be okay. It's just air you'd have to worry about. But if like 3 strike mechs come in here and just stand here, it's over. Really, still trying to find that damage angle. Really, what Jort could do in this matchup is probably just go straight to Risk here with his fighters and strikes if he was an unethical gamer who's eager for that 2v2 rating game. But otherwise, we Kick here. It'd probably be good to actually just get forward, an early forward here. there's nothing to stop you, so you could probably get a fortress in like the most ambitious spot that you wanted. Like over here or something, and then that would just be so difficult to go into T3 and deal with. But there are the fighters to try and find some damage. It's on the kick to probably make some anti-air, which he's not really made any of, which is surprising. I would have liked to see him close this out or have found some ore and gated here. See, dude, honestly, you were having a nap. Good trade here for Grenooli and Risk. I feel like Risk's forgotten that workers bash down turrets. Looking kind of doomed here. I don't think Kick ever really got up enough farms. Watching him, it just looks like he's sort of given up. And he's just trying to pretend that he's lasted longer in this matchup. This is not to disappoint Risk over here. Risk having a pretty good game, really. Like him and Grenooli having a good time here, really. Some good T2 fighting. Ethical gaming over here. Now this try hard flame trooper into, you know, 6 strike mechs in your base. He just deleted his command center. Rebuild it over here, is it enough? Really not really suffered too much, he's just been constantly the aggressor here. So pretty mighty looking carbon line there. Funding the battle droid production. Could have done this ages ago, and he comes. Oh, is there mines? Oh, I forget that this is even a thing. I was gonna think that like Kick's hacking right now. I don't know why this is even a thing. Like, I honestly like forget it's even in the game until I see it happen. Oh wow, big brain. He does win. Jort should resign after that. Risk taking a trade here. He's still looking pretty safe-ish at home. It's okay. His buildings, is he on the way? Not quite, no, not at all. Just having to make too many troopers, not enough farms for that. Need an obscene amount of farms, and I think they're going to call GG here. Just because Kick's pretty much donezo. His artillery knocking the door down now. Even though he had that ethical victory here with his mines, it's still brutally ogre. He's absolutely shreked out here. And that'll be it. Kick's resigned, just wait for Risk to get out the game. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. If you find yourself looking down at the description field down below, you will see the server invites for our GBG Discord community where we keep in touch, talk about games. You'll find one for the Vuble.com where we play this game online, so it's like the old MSN gaming zone. I'll let you play and host peer-to-peer games like that. And you'll find one for the Expanding Fronts mod. So their server invite down below, which is this mod that we're playing the game on. And you'll find a PayPal link if you want to support the channel in another way there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.